Economics. I'm Pamela Young, and this is Thrive 2030, brought to you by Growthcurv. Today I have with me Umar, who is the Chief Executive of Bursa, Malaysia, which is the stock exchange in Malaysia. Hello, Umar. How are you today?
A very good day to you, Pamela, and thank you for having me on.
What were the conversations with your leadership team in those first few months about the risks for the exchange and the people that work there?
Well, the exchange is an essential service. I mean, the free flow of capital, things have to run. Yeah. We've not closed down at all during the pandemic, per se. So we have to immediately start thinking in terms of redundancy. What do we do? You know, in the early stages of the pandemic, we watched single-digit, if you like, infection rates and say, well, what does that mean to us? What do we do? We then introduced work from home, multi-sites. We started grouping ourselves into cells. We started, flirting with Zoom, WebEx. We've now landed on MS Teams. Not that it's a plug; it's the tool that works best for us. Mm-hmm. We tried all these different ways of, was it telecommuting, for want of a better term, and adjusting. And just how do we keep people safe is the overall theme, Pamela.
Yes. Umar, of the listed members of the exchange, what changes have you seen of, who are the winners and who are the losers, and are there some new players in the market?
No, there certainly is, Pamela. So, I mean, if you think about it, we look at 2020 market as if you like, the first movement control order was put in place. The economy was suffering. There wasn't a lot of good news. And then we saw this rise of rubber gloves and healthcare, and because everyone had to, hygiene became a key factor. Sure. And Malaysia actually produces 80% of the world's production of rubber gloves.
A great fortune.
As we saw greater liquidity in the market, we saw a new group of investors. And what I mean by a new group of investors are actually retail customers, because traditionally our stock market has been driven by institutional players, pension funds. And on a given day today, 40% of the trades on the market are actually by retailers.
There's a lot of messages here, the point that your social system is not as well developed as some Western nations, which have got more financial support for people. If these industries are decimated and these families' incomes are non-existent and there isn't this government support for those families, what's going to happen? How bad is it? I mean, 20,000 cases a day and rising. That's a challenging situation right now.
I'd like to think. I mean, the 20,000, there's been a bit of modelling, Pamela. I think we're reaching near the top of the modelling of the impact, but I think that the key focus is on contact tracing, testing. It is your asymptomatics of the real challenge, making sure we're on top of that, making sure there are enough beds, enough medicine, treating those that are ill. Velocity of money has slowed down because people aren't spending. Mm-hmm. Because if you like, $1 or $1 is really just $1 or $1 because it's sitting in my wallet. But if I spend it, and then someone else spends it, and then you have that velocity, so you have a multiplier effect. Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to get back. We need to get people working. We need the economy driving. We need to take the opportunity presented by supply disruption to say that, hello, we're Malaysia, we can fill that niche.
Look, I think we could talk on and on for hours, couldn't we? But I've got to the point where I need to ask you that beautiful last question, which is, if you were the CEO of the world, pardon me, in the future, what would be the priorities for you? What would be top of mind for you to address in your first 100 days?
Difficult question.